Sevinç Biçer. Now, Sevinç Biçer is an English language teacher in Turkey. She holds a master's degree in educational technology at the University of Tartu in Estonia. And having worked for so many years in preschool, primary school, she's experienced in lesson planning, integrating technology into lessons, and she's interested in game-based learning and embodied learning while teaching young learners. So today, Sevinç will be giving us, she will be sharing with us some of her experiences, what she has been able to do during this pandemic. And she'll be sharing with us some teaching resources for early learners engagement. Join me as I welcome Sevinç Biçer. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefan, for this nice background explanation, actually. So let me share my screen with you. Yes. Basically, right now, in this presentation, I will focus on some practical resources that can be useful in your lesson plans. But before that, I want to mention something. During this pandemic period, I have experienced both hybrid and synchronous teaching with my students. So basically, I'm a teacher like you, and I am aware of the challenges of in this period, actually. So for any resources that I will share with you, I want you to hear that as a teacher, your efforts are highly appreciated. And please be sure about your own value, because we are not doing something easy, actually. And this period changed my vision towards teaching a lot. So this period shows me that as a teacher, first, I have to analyze my current situation, and I have to check my options well. Then I have to adapt my options to my current situation, actually. So it means that we should be flexible and we should think a lot while teaching early learners. So we are focusing on early learners resources, but what do I mean by saying early learners? I mean that preschool and kindergarten students and also primary students, their ages can change from 3 years old to 8 years old, but these resources can be helpful for the elder students too, because you know your students' characteristics and you can adapt each kind of resource to your own students, actually. So if we want to plan an efficient lesson for the kids, we have to know about their characteristics. Also, if we know about their characteristics, we can solve some possible classroom management problems before they happen, actually. So basically, kids are curious and they are creative. And it means that we have to trigger their curiosity in our lesson plans, because they're autonomous learners and they have to discover their environment to learn well. And also, our students, early learners, are active. Please do not wait them to sit on a chair all the time and listen to you by focusing your lecture. They cannot do that. It is impossible because it's against their nature, actually. And early learners are playful, so we cannot think that early learners education without games. So if they are playing, they can learn easily. And from time to time, because we are focusing on kids, they can be aggressive and selfish. So if you're aware of the situation, you can solve any kind of classroom management problem before they happen, even if you are teaching online, actually. So on behalf of their characteristics, we can definitely say that early childhood education's main outcome is improving your students socially, cognitively, physically, and academically at the same time. Because we are preparing them to the real life. And as an early learner educators, we cannot focus on only academic skills. We have to support their social skills too, their cognitive skills too. And here I want to show you one video from my students. By watching this video, probably you can get some idea about their characteristics, actually. And actually, this is an example of classroom management problem too, because we have only one device here and we don't have enough device. They all want to play this game, but they have to take turns, they have to wait. They're all curious, but this boy is getting a little bit aggressive right now. So this video was taken before pandemic. I want you to see that it is hard, even if you are in the classroom with your students while teaching early learners. But right now, we have to arrange our lessons in online teaching. So we have some more harder situation right now. So let's see it. By the way, it is totally normal in kindergarten. So you saw that. And let me go through. So right now, we have to adapt ourselves to remote teaching. And we have to solve each kind of problem while we are away from our students. If you have a situation like in this picture, if you and your students have some devices for online teaching and perfect connection for online teaching, it means that no worries at all, because we as teachers, we can adapt each kind of resources our lessons. But how about if our students do not have enough devices? What will we do then? Here, the solution is tinkering. As teachers, we have to be flexible and creative. And I'm sorry, but we don't have certain solution, because each student has got different options, and each student has different characteristics, actually. So as teachers, we have to find a way to adapt our situation well. We have to tinker mostly. And here, another personal experience from my own students I want to share with you. It's a great example of tinkering, I think. I want to use VR headset, virtual reality headset with my students in the classroom, but I couldn't afford it. It was really expensive for me. So I searched a little bit, and then I found out these Google Cardboard headsets on the internet, and I use it with my students. Actually, it is totally affordable when you compare it with the normal VR headset. And in each kind of online shopping store, you can get these under $10, I think. It is really affordable when you compare it with the normal VR headset. But I use it with my students, but then I realized that I could have been used another solution. I found a video on YouTube. Here, they are using only cartoons and plastics for lenses. And they are totally making a virtual reality cardboard by using simple materials. Actually, this is a great example of tinkering. So with a little bit of tinkering, your own students can get this experience actually. By the way, this video was too long. Because of that, I couldn't put it here. I took only a photo from the video. After the presentation, Mr. Stefan will share each slides with you, and you can definitely look at it. And here it is my outcome. She's one of my students, and please look at her precious reaction towards VR experience. And we can say that just a little bit of tinkering, every student can have this chance, this opportunity. And it is worth for everything, I think. Her smile at the end is precious. And let's come to the resources finally. I won't mention all of them one by one. I have some subtitles here. Let me talk about the important ones for me. Here, for the song resources, I want to share a technique with you, an ORF technique. I'm not an expert of it, but in the kindergarten classes, definitely you can get an idea to use rhythm in the classroom by using this technique. These two websites can inspire you about this topic, actually. Actually, ORF is a philosophy, some kind of philosophy, we can say. And then we have other song resources. In those three websites, you can find lots of song lists. The second one has got some videos. In the third one, you have some lyrics. It's up to you how to use it, but it's a great option for you, I think. Then I share some circle time resources with you. If you don't know what does it mean circle time, let me explain. In the kindergarten, in a day, students comes together. You should gather them around, and in these circle times, you can play some whole group games with them as a teacher, or they can share their own ideas about a topic. Actually, circle times are the times that students are active. And in the circle times, student talking time should be very high. So here, there is a webinar record. It is mostly useful for you, and it is focusing on how can you adapt your normal face-to-face circle times to virtual education, online teaching. And also you can get some circle time activity ideas from those websites. And we say that children education cannot separate it from games. So here I shared with you lots of game ideas. Please dig on them after the presentation. And we have some online game platforms. Probably you heard this one, and the others are totally free too. So your students can play with them without your guidance actually, and they would be very helpful for them. And we have some interactive online game platforms here. Mostly I use the first one, Word Wall, in my lessons, because here you can create your own games by using your own visuals, and it has lots of different templates, and they are so charming for the students. Also, there in the website, there is a community option, and you can search a topic and you can find lots of different activity games prepared by different teachers, and they are totally free. And we said that we have to trigger their imagination, trigger their curiosity, their child, we said. But how can we do it? So science experiment can be a great solution for this. Actually, these resources gave me this idea too. If you cannot teach online to your students, if you are totally away from your own students, probably you can share them. You can pick up some experiments from them and share them with your students. And probably they can do it at home alone too, because those experiments do not require complex materials and equipments. And also, this website is called Scratch. It is a basic programming web tool, by the way. And if your students, let's say that if your students do not know how to read, but even if they don't know how to read, they can create their own animations there. Because this website is really user-friendly, and with a little bit guidance, they can handle it. And we have some reading resources. I think these resources are the most important ones for you, especially if you are away from your students, because I shared lots of free digital libraries with you, and in most of them, you can download free books, and you can share them with your students as PDF forms, maybe. And I think this is a great way to support their reading skills, writing skills, critical thinking skills, and also the other 21st century skills. We are using only one tool, but we can support their different skills at the same time. And here you can see other websites. They are all totally free, by the way. And in some of them, they have video versions of the books, and the others have got only written form. So if your students do not know how to read, they can even watch them and listen those books. And we have some resources for printable materials here. They are really helpful if you need to share some extra materials for your students. And basically, if I have to summarize, this presentation is beyond sharing some resources with you. I want you to know this. As teachers, we should first ask the correct questions, then analyze our situation well, then we have to be flexible and thinker on our solutions. Because if we do that, I'm sure that we can find some solution by ourselves, and we can adapt each kind of resource into our lessons. I know that you are all good teachers and you are trying to do best for your students. So please be aware of your own value. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. That's so amazing. So amazing.